prospect with integrity, we will get customers who have integrity. Integrity is the foundation from which everything is built on.
You better understand value. But at the end of the day, sales is a relationship business. It is a people business. It is an emotional business.
This is Sales Logic.
This is Sales Logic, the show where we dive into the strategies, discuss the steps, everything that you need to know to sell effectively. You know, Mark, I meant to tell you this in the green room. This is how committed Mark and I are to this podcast. Like, I really want to go home. And I took a later flight because I knew I could not blow off this podcast. I could be on flight home right now, but here I am talking sales on a Labor Day weekend.
Well, thank you. Yes, you're calling in as a refugee in Atlanta on your way home. So thank you. Hey, the topic we got, it is a hot topic. Why mindset wins in sales? Is it discipline versus motivation? Now you start putting those two together, discipline versus motivation. Which one drives? But it really comes down to why mindset does win in sales. Love to get your perspective. I know you. Hey, you're demonstrating discipline right here this morning.
Yeah. You know, I think mindset, I was really thinking about this, Mark, and I was thinking about this show, and I'm thinking that discipline drives mindset drives discipline. Like, I think it's very difficult to be disciplined if you don't get your mindset right first.
Well, I'm going to run with that a little bit too, because here's the whole thing. I think discipline creates motivation. I think it's this whole circle. Because again, if I'm not disciplined, it's very hard to be motivated. And if I'm motivated, I think I'm going to be more disciplined. I caught myself on this the other day, that I was just having a very tough day. And I realized that because I didn't allow myself to be disciplined, I didn't force myself to be disciplined like I normally do. And as a result, my motivation. So when we talk about how mindset wins in sales, I think the sale is made even before you arrive there. At the sale, because again, it's your mindset, it's your discipline, it's all of those pieces come into play.
Yeah, I feel like discipline makes things happen, but without mindset, you'll never get to discipline. Like, it's really, like, I'm incredibly disciplined, but I did not start out that way. And I know, Mark, you did not start out that way. I mean, the very fact that I graduated from college is kind of amazing. I mean, but I think that I had to get my mindset right before I could tap into discipline.
Well, I think it comes down to, because mindset, you can be disciplined without having the right mindset. I mean, I see a lot of people just going through motions. They just go through motions. This is what they always do. This is what they always do. And it's not yielding any results. We see this in sales a lot. It's the difference between being busy and being productive. But let's come back around here, because I truly believe the more disciplined we are, the easier it is for us to be motivated. And thus, it's easiest for us to have a great mindset. But I think you can't have one without the other two. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, I wonder too, though, and I'd love for the audience to weigh in on this. We got some great listeners piping in here this morning. Terry Brock, listen, if you want to know anything about AI, about technology, you need to be listening to Terry Brock and to Gina Carr. But it's Shirley's piping in here and saying mindset is everything, and it is. I'm trying to think about the fact of, Mark, what do you think eventually takes over, though? Like, I was thinking about the fact of, I've not had a fun week with flights. I've been delayed all over the place, and it's cost me a lot of sleep. And I had 2 full-day programs I had to do this week. And I wake up and I don't have a lot of time, but I still went and worked out. Is that discipline or is that mindset? Like, how did I get there?
I think that's discipline. And I think that's because discipline is part of your mindset. I mean, I think this is without a doubt. It's funny. I went to bed last night and I saw that it was going to be pouring down rain. You and I have got a call after this. And I said, if I'm going to get my run in, I got to get up early. So I got up early. And while I was out running, it was starting to rain. But thank goodness, because again, it was the only time today that the weather's going to be cooperative for me to be able to go run. And again, is that discipline or mindset? But I think I had to do that to get in the right mindset for what I want to be able to accomplish this morning. And it's all discipline. I mean,
Yeah. Then I wonder too, though, like I think, and I'd love for the audience to weigh on this as well. I had to get my mindset right to become a disciplined person. But now I feel discipline drives my mindset. Like the reason I went and worked out is because I know if I don't go outside and do something every day, I will not have the right energy. I will not have the, I will not have the right mindset. When I eventually get home today, I will go outside and do some form of a workout, whether it's hit some tennis balls or go for a mountain bike ride. When I have a load of work to get done, but without those things, I can't drive the other.
right. So the disciplines driving the mindset. Now, here's what I find. Many times we get into a mindset where we know we have an issue that we have to deal with. We have to deal with this. And the only way we're able to accomplish that is because of discipline. Otherwise, we would just simply look for the path of least resistance. And I think what we're saying here is that high performing people always have a strong sense of discipline. I see this in every top performer I coach. They have a strong sense of discipline, which in turn creates a tremendous level of motivation, which fuels a mindset that says they can accomplish almost anything.
Yeah, I love what Ryan is saying here. He said, perhaps it's more about mental agility, or should I say psychological capital, self-efficacy, resilience, and optimism. Mark, Gina Carr is asking a great question here. How do you see habits relating to discipline?
Well, I think they absolutely do, because again, it's those little tiny habits. I have a very set routine of how I work out in the morning, very set routine, and I do not change. Now, if I did not do that workout for a week or two, nothing would change. But if I didn't do that workout for a month, I would see significant change in my body, in my chemistry, in just how I act. So habits do. And what does that do? It allows me to be more disciplined. Same thing for you. You always say you got to get a workout in every day. What does it do? It allows you to be more disciplined, period.
Yeah, I feel like habits are what make you disciplined. Like, I feel like I think about the time in my life when I was not a disciplined person and what really changed it. Like, I'm thinking of the steps for anybody listening to this, wrestling with it, and we should probably get to the question. But it is I really, you got to start with mindset. And sometimes mindset is casting your own vision. Sometimes mindset is just changing the people that you hang out with, just making sure that you're around people who are better than you are at whatever you want to succeed at. And then from there, it's just saying, I feel like what has made me so disciplined today is choosing small changes to make. I'm trying to kick one bad habit I've got. It drives me insane that I have this bad habit. I won't admit it on this podcast, but I want to kick it. And so rather than just going cold turkey, I'll do it. I'm trying to give up drinking soda. It bothers I'm so health conscious, and here I am drinking soda. It's a horrible thing. So rather than just go 100% cold turkey, I'm just trying to reduce it on a daily basis. And you know what? It's crazy. Like yesterday, I didn't even want any. So it's making those small steps.
Well, see, there's two approaches here. You can do cold turkey, or you can step your way into it. If you go cold turkey, sometimes it creates so much stress on your body that it almost overwhelms you, and you fall victim and you fall back into it. So you're right. It's those incremental small steps that you take every day. I want to come back. I want to talk real quick about habits, because I think habits are critical first thing in the morning. If you can demonstrate a very set routine first thing in the morning, it is amazing at how much more disciplined and motivated you will be throughout the day. I can't stress that enough. It comes back to how, because I know you have a very set routine, how you start the day. I have a very set routine. And it allows us to be extremely more disciplined and motivated. Hey, let's get to the question. The question today comes from John Liotta. He says, hello, Meredith and Mark. Amazing show. We've been hearing that a lot from a lot of people. It's really cool. I feel that I'm falling short as a sales rep because my sales discipline is lacking. I always convince myself that I'm going to start prospecting. And when it's time to do so, I find a reason to not get out there and do it. I think it's due to my lack of knowledge in terms of knowing my ideal customer profile or plan of action. Any advice you can give me to change my mindset? You know what? I threw that into the brain, the sales logic brain. And I also, you know what? It's not about ICP. It's your own mindset, John. John, you have some form of a block. What you got to do to change this, you got to set a habit. It might be at 10 a.m. You're going to be prospecting, 11 a.m. It might be 3 calls, 2 calls, whatever. But you've got to set a small habit that you can routinely be disciplined in doing every day. And then you build on it, just like you in terms of giving up soda.
Yeah. So, I think the other thing too is this is such a good question. I mean, there we are. We all know what we're supposed to be doing in life, and then we don't do it, right? Like, and I think number one is stop beating yourself up for not doing it. Get the negative thoughts out of your head. I learned this a long time ago, and they said when you really want something in life and you're not making the changes to get there, like maybe I want to be the top sales professional in my company. Maybe I want to have a better relationship with my kids. Maybe I want to be somebody who's in the best shape of my life at this age. Whatever that is, it just, instead of beating yourself up when you fall on it, ask yourself, well, that's really interesting. If I want to be in the best shape of my life, why do I eat a piece of cake after every dinner? Because when you ask your brain questions, it opens it up for new answers and new opportunities. So as crazy as that sounds, I would start with, if I want to be more prospecting, why am I not more prospecting? Or what could I do to take one step to prospect? And kind of be kind to yourself in that change.
I think without a doubt, I think John is getting a little caught up then. If I knew what my ICP was, then I could prospect. And this is an excuse that I think we tell ourselves too often. It also comes back to the accountability factor. And it is very hard for us to be accountable to ourselves until we're really at this high discipline level. So it means you've got to have somebody else in your life. John, this is maybe what you need. You need to have somebody else in your life who can help hold you accountable for being disciplined in terms of prospecting. We got some great comments coming in. Natalie said that she works out 7 days a week. I love that. Gina Carr said that I gave up a six a day. That's a 6-pack of soda habit many years ago. I went cold turkey. Same thing with alcohol. See, the first 3 days were the hardest. See, so there's the cold turkey habit. And of course, you're doing now again, both can deliver great results. You've got to understand what habit, what process is going to work best for you in terms of your motivation and your mindset. I love it. Thank you, Gina.
So Gina, you've motivated me. I'm really excited about how much progress I'm making and how much easier it's been than I thought it would be. Daniel, discipline must be led by objective and expect a clear benefit. What about passion in between? Does it bring a better accomplishment?
Oh, I think so, without a doubt, because again, when I'm passionate about accomplishing something, when I'm passionate about something, it is amazing at how much more disciplined I can be. And that's absolutely spot on. So what it comes down to is this. Your mindset is driven by what is the visualization of the result you want to accomplish. And again, if you've got a passionate view towards that, this is something that you absolutely want to accomplish, then it's amazing how your mindset and your discipline will kick in. For instance, you, Mayor, you want to have a healthy body. and
Hmm.
you know you want to lead a healthy life. So what do? You are absolutely disciplined in terms of your exercise every day that you continuously do.
I think mindset is so much bigger than that, though. I mean, I think like mindset, I would advise like you have to commit yourself to learning and to growing and to stretching yourself and pushing out of your comfort zone on a regular basis. I am so sorry if you can hear this. They have decided to vacuum right around me.
Hey, that's okay because again, you stop and think about this. Okay, we've been doing sales logic now. This is like the 253rd episode that we are doing right now. Would we have been able to accomplish this without the right discipline, without the right motivation, without the right mindset, and I would say accountability to each other? John is jumping in here. John Wong, prospecting is all about consistency. The best way to do that is to schedule into your calendar. You're right. This is why I think so many people struggle with discipline because they really don't want to be held accountable. And your calendar is the first step in being able to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, we've got more comments coming in here. I think though it is again, I think you need to if you really want to be prospecting more, you got to figure out what's holding you back from doing that and just be curious as to the reason that you are. Do you lack information? Okay, then your very first habit is where do I go get the information I need to be to be a better prospector. I also think the other thing is to break it down, take it in small steps. I think far too often we don't do things because we're overwhelmed by the process. If you ever had anything to do with Alcoholics Anonymous, I think one of the greatest things they have in there is one day at a time. And when it's really, really difficult to give something up or to make a change, just do it for today. Just do it for one day. So the thing is, you want to be a better prospector, just do it today. You may not have to do it tomorrow if you think it's too difficult, but do it today.
And set yourself a goal that you know you can accomplish. There's something absolutely powerful when you set yourself a goal that you know you can accomplish. Because what does it do? It motivates you. Anytime you accomplish something, you are more motivated. But you take that absolutely one step at a time. John Register is dropping in. He's a Paralympic athlete. Amazing story as how he had to overcome an injury. His motivation was plus 1 day. Exactly. It's 1 day at a time. It's amazing what we can accomplish if we allow ourselves to be focused just 1 day at a time.
Yeah, I think the power of what John is saying there is that he did it even if he didn't want to do it. And what I love about that is that the moment you do something you don't want to do, like is good for you, you feel really, really like it boosts your confidence to another level. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about this hot yoga class we go to, and it's at 6 a.m. in the morning. I don't ever want to go to it because I don't love yoga. But every time I walk out of that hot yoga class, I feel so good. And I'm so glad I forced myself to go and do that.
Now let's stop. I want to ask about that because again, is that the discipline and the habit? I think it is. Coming back to prospecting, I think the reason so many people don't prospect, well, you know what? I got to work on this existing account. I got to take care of something else. You are not literally pushed to the absolute wall to where you absolutely have to do this. John Register, I know your story very well. And there were times that you know that you were pushed to the wall and you had to make that move. And I think this comes back to this whole piece of why I think accountability is so critical. If you want to reach that next level, accountability is absolutely critical.
Yeah, I also think that we think things have to be perfect. I heard a story years ago about Gabrielle Reese, the soccer player, and they asked her about how she stayed in such phenomenal shape. And kind of to Natalie's point, she works out every single day, and she goes, "I work out whether I feel like it or not. Some of my workouts are amazing, and some of them aren't very good at all." She goes, "I don't judge my workout. I judge whether I did it or not." And I think I think that's really important. Like maybe you're struggling to get started with prospecting because you need it to be perfect. And it doesn't. You don't have to have, things don't have to be perfect every single time. It's just the act of doing them.
It's the act of doing it. And we got so many comments coming in. There's no way we can get them all up there, on the screen. But this is so key because, again, you just have to start. And again, motivation is not something you take off the shelf. Motivation is totally internal. Your environment around you is what creates your level of motivation. So again, it comes back to, what are you surrounding yourself? And it begins by what you can control, your level of discipline, and that's going to drive your mindset for sure.
Yeah, I love what Terry Brock is saying. He's saying this is a good metaphor. In life, we have the occasional vacuum sound that interrupts and irritates us. However, we discipline ourselves to keep going in spite of the yuck going on. You timed that vacuum noise to come in for this just at the right time. I did.
Yeah.
Good point. But it is such a good point. Like you have these interrupters that try to throw you off track. But when you push through it and you do the discipline anyway, it's really powerful.
That's so true, because you could have said, hey, let's stop the show. Let's come back and pick it up later. No, the discipline, knowing we have to keep doing it. I'm going to say the discipline also because the accountability you have to me and to our audience. Yes. Hey, time is moving by fast. We got to get to the book. The book is unbeatable. The Legend of the Salesman on Fire by our good friend Carson Heddy. Unbelievable book. Unbelievable gentleman. Love it.
Well, and I don't know anybody who's better at discipline and mindset than Carson. And his book is really the power of mindset and discipline. He had to push through some unbelievable obstacles and challenges.
And he is an absolute product of that discipline, because he's top performer, has been for a number of years at Microsoft. Unbelievable level of success. And it's because of his level of discipline. And again, he's an individual who didn't start out that way. No way. You hear his story. It wasn't like he was born into a life of discipline. No, he had to adapt to it. And that's the results that you can accomplish. What does it do? It delivers the motivation and the mindset. Okay, you ready for the lightning round?
I am.
Top 10 discipline and mindset hacks for salespeople.
Number one is reframe the challenge. I love to do this all the time. Instead of being a victim, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? Or why did this show up in my life?
I love it. Hey, start your day with the hardest sales task first. It's eat the frog. Brian Tracy said, eat the frog. It's the worst thing you'll do all day.
Yeah. Number three, you need to have a vision, a relentless vision. You need to be very, very clear. I use a vision board. But very, very clear of where you see yourself a year from now, and focus on that.
Block time on your calendar, whether it be for negotiating, whether it be for prospecting, whether it be for whatever activity you've got to do. Block time on your calendar. Honor your commitments to yourself.
Yeah. Number 5, plan the night before. I mean, make sure that I always do my to-do list before I leave the office, so that when I come in first thing in the morning, there's no confusion as to what I need to do first.
I love it. Use micro goals, small little goals that you know you can accomplish. You start the number low, and as you get more disciplined, you begin to increase the number.
Yeah, I'm going to build on that one. I say, once you have micro goals, then celebrate micro wins. Like, really get excited about progress, not about having things to be perfect.
Love it. Hey, eliminate distractions. Many times that's get rid of social media. Get that out. There are certain times of the day you might be in that, but focus your time and your commitment as to what it is that you need to accomplish.
Yeah, start your day with something motivating. I start my day every day with, after I meditate, I go into I have 30 minutes of learning. Like, I'm going to watch a video. I'm going to read 30 minutes of a book. I'm going to do something to kind of push me to the next level.
Hold yourself accountable by having somebody else hold you accountable. You've got to have an accountability partner who is willing to get in your face and get tough with you.
Yeah, Mark, I think we're there.
We're at about 10?
Yeah.
Hey, with that, we want to say thank you for listening to Sales Logic this week. If you like what you hear, subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. If something we've said has earned you a single dollar, consider telling a friend about our show, because it's how we grow when we help you grow. I'm Mark Hyde.
And I'm Meredith Elliott Powell.
Remember, when you sell with confidence and integrity,
all of this uncertainty suddenly becomes your competitive advantage.
And the sale becomes logical.
All right, we'll see you right back here next week. I want you to mark your calendars for the fourth Monday in September at 4 p.m. We're going to be talking to the legendary Stacy Hankey, and hopefully Mark will not be joining us because he is going to be in Italy with his wife celebrating a huge anniversary.
That will be at 10 p.m. in Milan, and I'm actually thinking I will be there. And of course, I'll do Sales Logic from Milan on Saturday. So anyway, hey.
All right, we'll see you right back here next week. Everybody have a great and safe Labor Day weekend.